Here's Bronny James with the steal. He's a blur up the court, and in one smooth motion, he's in the air, defying gravity.
Speaking of, here's Bronny James with the steal and the slam. That's great.
Bronny was born into the NBA. From the moment he entered this world, the spotlight was already waiting for him. And over time, that spotlight only intensified, not because of what he'd done, but because of the name he carried. When he finally got to the NBA, the noise that followed him his whole life didn't stop. It grew teeth. He doesn't deserve to be here. He's only here because of his father. This kind of talk surrounded Bronny from the jump. But what stands out isn't the criticism, it's how he handled it. Because today, despite all the pressure, all the doubters, all the chatter, Bronny James is doing what no one thought possible.
Bro, Bronny is cold, bro.
He cold.
Bronny is just 6'1", 6'2".
Making NBA videos for a living sounds like a dream, but behind the scenes, it's a grind that quietly wears on you. Constant deadlines, creative pressure, mental fatigue, and no matter how passionate you are, some days it's just overwhelming. After a while, that pressure started to build, and that's when I realized something important. Mental health struggles are real, and they don't just affect creators, they affect everyone. You know, back in the day, talking about mental health was seen as weak. If I brought it up with friends or family, they'd laugh or say I was being soft. But the more I learn about the world today, the more I realize this is one of the biggest pandemics we're facing. Studies show more people than ever are hurting themselves because of mental health, and that's heartbreaking. That's why I'm proud to talk about today's paid partner, BetterHelp, an online therapy platform that connects you with credentialed therapists from home. It's designed to make therapy more accessible, with flexible scheduling, licensed professionals, and no waiting rooms. Visit BetterHelp.com/HoopReports for 10% off your first month, because your mental health isn't just important, it's everything. They cheering for him like he's the middle school manager. This kid is a 2-point machine. Thanks, Daddy, for making me a basketball meme. Scroll through the internet and it's all there. Memes, jokes, endlessly aimed at Bronny. That's the world we live in now, where criticism cuts deeper than anything on the court. Even some of the NBA's top talent cracked under that kind of pressure. What makes Bronny's journey so crazy, though, isn't the fact that at just 20 years old, he's somehow unfazed by all the negativity social media has thrown at him. It's that he was never even supposed to be here.
Ambulance immediately. Okay, sir. Listen to me. So, okay, get ambulance here now. Okay, all right, sir.
2 years ago, in July 2023, Bronny James came terrifyingly close to death. He collapsed during a USC practice from sudden cardiac arrest. And without immediate medical intervention, he might not have made it. Had help arrived even moments later, Bronny James could have become just another tragic name on the growing list of young athletes lost to this silent killer. What's truly inspiring about this story, however, something most people overlook, is this. Bronny didn't have to keep going. His father's a billionaire. He was already set for life. After surviving cardiac arrest, no one would have blamed him for stepping away. He could have disappeared into comfort, like so many others born into privilege. But he didn't. Instead, he doubled down. He trained, he worked, and in the end, he did it.
The Los Angeles Lakers select Bronny James from the University of Southern California.
Yeah, LeBron might have made a few calls and pulled some strings, but let's be real. Without the relentless grind, those 2 to 3 workouts a day, every single day, no amount of help from his father could have gotten him here. From the brink of death to the top of the basketball world. This alone is a story worth telling. When Bronny was drafted with the 55th pick, the NBA media broke.
Nepotism has struck the NBA.
The nepotism
criticism.
Nepotism pays.
Nepotism was all the basketball world was talking about. I mean, here was a guy who averaged less than 5 points per game in college, getting drafted not only into the NBA, but by the greatest franchise in the NBA. Here was the 55th pick, in the draft getting more spotlight than the number 1 pick. I mean, do you know much about Zachary Risacher? Me neither. But Bronny? We've heard everything. This wasn't Charlotte he was drafted to either, or some franchise where players quietly disappear. This was the Los Angeles Lakers, the team where the lights burn the brightest. There have been legit NBA superstars who couldn't handle wearing the purple and gold. And even with every game Bronny played, the voices just got louder. Bronny doesn't deserve to be here.
Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
This whole situation got so bad, it sparked arguably the biggest headlines of the season, when his father went head-to-head with the face of ESPN over him.
Because had that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
But despite all the noise, what was actually praiseworthy about Bronny is that as a 20-year-old, with all the money in the world, all the fame, he didn't react. He didn't let it shake him one bit. Instead, he just stayed locked in, focused on his craft. And he did 2 things in his rookie year that actually might surprise you. I mean, first of all, he's already made more 3-pointers in his rookie year than Ben Simmons has in his entire career. And second of all, he crossed up Giannis once. Bronny may not have been a superstar in year 1, but the way he handled the pressure and stayed locked in, maybe there's more to Bronny than most people thought. Fred VanVleet is a certified stud in the NBA today. I mean, elite 3-point shooting, floor general, a man who ain't scared of the refs. Back in 2017, however, he was just another name in the G League, putting up just under 17 points per game. Here are some other notable G League players who eventually became important pieces of NBA championship teams. And here's even the 2021 number 2 overall pick's G League stats. And then, here's Bronny James.
Time to go. Wait. Oh my God. Let's go home.
He's got real bounce for a 6'2", 6'3" guard, finishes above the rim consistently, has the size to absorb contact at the rim, and his jumper looks smooth. I mean, there's no wasted motion, no awkward mechanics, just one fluid release. And the stats back it up. Nearly 40% from 3 on over 8 attempts per game. All around, his game just looks solid. And to top it off, he had a 39-point explosion in one game. It's not a historic, record-breaking moment, but it's the kind of performance that makes you wonder. Maybe he's closer to the next level than people think. And as if that wasn't enough, the kid locks in on defense too.
Good pass. That one is blocked by James.
Currently, Bronny is just 20 years old, but he's progressing pretty well. Yeah, we all know that LeBron pulled every string possible to get Bronny on the team. But here's the truth. No phone call LeBron makes can get Bronny to average 22 points in the G League. No phone call LeBron makes can get Bronny to explode for 39 points in a league where everyone is desperate to make a name for themselves. And, well, here's where things went even more crazy. Cooper Flagg is being hailed as the NBA's next big thing. He's everywhere, dominating headlines, owning the spotlight, and already drawing the generational talent label. And honestly, it's hard to argue. At just 17, he was already giving Team USA problems. But on July 10th, Bronny James came right at him.
Cooper Flagg, his first. Here's Bronny around the Baisley screen, step back over Flagg, and that jumper's wet.
It wasn't just a game. It felt personal. Bronny played like he had something to prove, like he was telling the world, I'm not just here because of my dad. And to his credit, he backed it up.
The line ends up with a contested three. James laces the three.
Yes, Bronny is about 2 years older than Flagg, but this was the 55th pick in last year's draft, going toe-to-toe with the consensus #1 this year. The buzz was so electric that courtside seats sold for $2,500 to $3,000 for a summer league game. To put that into perspective, the average Hornets courtside ticket runs around the mid-1,000s. First-round playoff courtside seats also in the $2,500 to $3,000 range. For some teams, second-round prices are in that exact ballpark. That's how much people were willing to pay to see Bronny versus Cooper. So, in a way, Bronny's already a bigger draw than some current NBA stars. And like I said earlier, when you look at Bronny's growth, his steady development, and the habits he's clearly inherited from his father, Bronny's ceiling might actually be a lot scarier than people realize. At just 20 years old, he's already outplaying the Lakers' other promising young talents in the Summer League. Combine that with his G League averages, his explosiveness, his youth, and it's not crazy to think Bronny could be a legit rotation player by year 2. And from there, the sky's the limit.
Getting to the basketball. James with a nifty move and a finish there, and gets the foul call as well.
But here's what makes it scary. Bronny wants this. A lot of NBA players lose their edge once they get the bag. But Bronny, he was born in Louis Vuitton. And yet, he still trains like he has something to prove. And don't forget, just 2 years ago, he nearly died. Size and talent, you can't teach that. You can't train to be 7'4" or a 6'9" freight train, or a 7-footer with a silky jumper. Those things are gifted at birth. But greatness is a decision you make every single day. And right now, Bronny looks like someone who's made that decision. He's no longer just LeBron's son. He's slowly carving out his own path. And I'm excited to see where it leads.